portrait composition. So can we just agree that a lot of information can be packed in the way someone looks? Their fashion, posture, props, their age, even their heritage can say a lot about who they are or even part of their journey or story. So how can we use this in our own portrait compositions? Well, I used to work in film, and it was my job to develop the sets that the characters lived, worked, and played in the film. So the first thing I would have to do is research who this character may have been prior to this film. So why don't we do a quick exercise? Let's pretend like you are the main character of a feature film. Don't get your speech ready or anything. Yeah, let's just work through this, okay? In this film, you are invited to a friend's house for a party. In the middle of a party, a natural disaster strikes, and you must either grab a prop, maybe go somewhere, or perhaps act on impulse in order to survive. So, this may not sound like the best party, but it could make a great painting composition. Either way, let's break this down a little bit further. First, what kind of party would your friend throw? I'm sure we all have ideas in our mind of who our friend is, and that is going to change the way that this painting looks. So would it be a dinner party, a barbecue, house party, children's birthday party, politically affiliated party, or maybe you're attending a party in the metaverse on your VR headset? Next, what would you wear to this party? Would you bring anything with you to the party? Any props, some wine, hat, skateboard, a backpack filled with random equipment? I have no idea. What would you bring to a party? Next, what kind of natural disaster is likely to occur where you live? Would it be a wildfire, earthquake, tornado, hurricane, tsunami, flood, volcano, snowstorm, any of these? And next, get very real here, but what would you look like in a crisis situation? Are you someone that would be scared? Are you someone that would be brave? And how would that look in your posture and facial expressions? And how would you react in this type of crisis situation? Would you run for shelter? Maybe you would grab something helpful like a flashlight or tools or some kind of prop. And would you be with anybody during this scenario? A child, maybe your parent or a friend? And how would that affect the situation? Next, how would they look, react, or respond? So portrait composition is developing a story within your piece, and you are the writer of that story. So when you are developing your portrait compositions, the information you provide about your subject or character is equally important to the information you provide about the background of your piece as well. Another way to approach portrait composition is abstractly. What kind of imagery, colors, shapes, lines, symbols could be used or added to tell a story about your subject? Framing. If you were to tell a story about your subject, would you paint them up close, or maybe in the middle ground, or far away? The space around your subject can drastically change the story that you are telling to your audience. Portraits that are up close can be intimate, or they can be claustrophobic. Middle compositions can tell a lot about what the person is doing and where they are located, while still giving plenty of information about their wardrobe, facial expressions, and their posture, and things like that. Portrait compositions where the subject is far away might feel lonely or alienating, or grand, or austere, or peaceful. There's just so many ways that you can approach it. But similar to how people are in real life, like you need to give people their personal space. Like you don't want to be too close to them when they're talking. You kind of want to consider that in your paintings as well. Like for instance, you want to give them either a little bit of buffer room or close to the outside of your canvas. Does it make sense, or is it distracting? Like, is your subject being cut off by the canvas? That would be something that you would either have to do intentionally, or if you did it not purposefully, could be off-putting, or people would be wondering why you did that. It might look a little amateurish if you did not mean to do that. So it's good to plan where your subjects are going to be within the piece. Although, like I said before, you can break every principle. But the thing about breaking principles is you really have to know how they work to begin with. So let me give you an example. So let's pretend that, like in our next piece, we're getting rid of a lot of that buffer room, and we're getting rid of the gaze following principle. So our subject is kind of being cut off. It's very close up. We are having her look at a part of the space that we can't actually see what she's looking at. We've kind of blocked that from the audience. And in turn, it's making her feel as though she's closed off in a box. But that was intentional. That is going to purposefully create a feeling to the audience that we want them to feel. So when it comes down to composition, you can use principles of composition to, like, any way you want your piece to feel good or pleasing. Or you could purposefully break those rules, but you must learn the rules before you break them so people know that you broke them intentionally, and it will add to the overall story.